Hello, demons. It's your girl Lucy. I would say welcome back if you've seen me before, but this is my first video, at least on this channel. Let's not go looking for my old one. I figured it would be a good idea for my first video to be me figuring out some of the main protagonists for a story idea that I've been developing. I tend to get really obsessed with new characters and stories I came up with in my head, but that can lead to me jumping into huge projects too soon, like making a whole webcomic, then abandoning it when I get obsessed with a new idea or realize I didn't plan out things correctly. So while I will post other things, I'm trying to use this channel to force myself to slow down and actually develop the story and characters through videos like this. And if I do manage to develop an audience, it would be good to have people holding me accountable to actually finish my works. But anyway, I really love all of these designs and I'm absolutely obsessed with them and I have so many ideas for the story already. So if you like it, subscribe. I never understood why people asked to subscribe before the video, like at the start, because you haven't seen the video, so you don't know if you want to subscribe. But subscribe anyway. Okay, let's get into the designs. Okay, this first character I'm designing, I wanted it to be, like, the main character. There'll be other, like, main characters that are important, but they're, like, sub-main characters. There's probably a better word for that, but you get what I'm saying. The very base idea I had for this story is that I wanted all of the, like, protagonists to be villains fighting heroes, because I've always absolutely loved stories where it's from, like, the bad guy's perspective. I don't know, I love it. It makes such a good, like, character arc and redemption story, and I'm absolutely obsessed with any story that does that. So anyway, we're gonna do that for my story. Obviously, for a villain story, we need a villainous protagonist, which is why I'm making this guy as cute as possible. He's actually a big sweetheart. I love him. He's so cute. I just adore my characters. Anyway, when I was designing this, I had some trouble choosing the color scheme. I was trying to decide between, like, having him be all warm and cozy with, like, soft reds, or having him have brighter colors in, like, cotton candy theme with the blue and pink, which is what I ended up going with because I thought it represented his, like, preppy and energetic personality more. So that's what I went with. Anyway, what this character is actually like is he's literally the sweetest person you will ever meet in your life. He is so friendly and all he wants to do is make people happy. And I love that for him. He actually slays. So yeah, he's really adorable, but he is still dreaming to become the most powerful villain, even if he doesn't have a bad bone in his entire body. So he's trying his best though. But now, the important part of every character is trauma. So let's get into that. So for the backstory of this character, I needed, like, a reason he would want to become a villain, because, like I said, he is so sweet that he would never ever set out to hurt anyone on his own. So I wanted him to be, like, the son of a big supervillain person, and he wants to become a villain to impress his father. Yeah, that works. But I'm coming up with ideas for this supervillain, and he really doesn't seem like the type of person to get with someone and have a child. So I figured that a better way to do it would be to have this kid be, like, created as, like, the supervillain is doing experiments with, like, villainy things. And he accidentally ends up creating this child when he was trying to create, like, a monster that he could use for destruction. I can just imagine him sitting there trying to make, like, the most scary monster that's gonna, like, attack and kill everyone, and he just ends up with, like, this small child with cotton candy colored hair that just wants to make everybody happy. Like, I think I really like that. So yeah, okay, I don't have a name for this character because I'm really, like, insanely bad at coming up with names for characters and sticking to them, but for right now we're gonna call him Nico. So I think Nico would definitely see this villain as, like, his father, like, 100%. I don't think the villain would like that very much, though, so Nico might call him something like Sir or Master, but he would still view him as his dad, because he loves him. Imagine a lot of Nico's early life would be very isolated, and it's like this villain trying to figure out exactly what this kid's powers are and what he can use him for, because he was literally created by something that I haven't come up with yet, but he was created, so he has some special powers. One power that I was thinking of was having him be, like, not invincible, but really, really good healing. Like, he can't die. I can see, like, he would still feel pain. He would still feel all the pain. Like, if you stabbed him, he would still be screaming. But he could heal that stab wound in a matter of seconds or minutes or something like that, which would make him really useful to this villain because, I mean, he never has to worry about dying, so he can be sent into any fight and know that he'll be okay and just keep fighting until the other person doesn't survive or like has to leave from injuries, which he will never have to do. So maybe the early life of Nico was like the villain trying to get him to ignore the pain that he feels when he gets hurt, which would be like him torturing Nico, but like I said, trauma. So, anyway, yeah, he was raised by this villain, and I imagine this villain runs like a villainy organization that fights against the heroes, and probably one of those villains that gets into like contracts that makes people sign like contracts or something like that. But I will design him in another video. So that's basically Nico. I can imagine him loving literally anything cute. He just wants to be friends with everyone. He gives off the most golden retriever energy possible. But I also think he would have a lot of anxiety and like be very much a people pleaser. He's very desperate to make his father proud. And that's why he's trying his absolute best to be a good villain, even if he does feel really bad hurting people. So yeah, that's Nico. His design, I think, turned out really cute. I love the colors. I think he's just so adorable. One thing I would try and do when I redraw him again is try and push the silhouette a bit more. I would like make the sleeves for his like nice cozy sweatshirt like a bit bigger than they already are, and maybe make his hair bigger so that he like stands out as having a more unique silhouette. But overall, I like this as a first time drawing the character. Okay, this next character I love. Like I said for Nick, I love all of my characters actually. So, but he actually slays. He's like a slay queen. I love him. This character has gone through like a lot of variations. I feel like I put someone like this in most of my stories, and I've like had him for multiple years. And I love him so much. So basically his personality is he's very stylish. He's very into fashion. I a lot of the time have him as like a dressmaker, like he's really into that, or even like singing, like he's into all of that. And he definitely loves attention. He loves everybody looking at him, and basically he's hot and he knows it. Yeah, he is hot as hell and he 100% knows it, and he knows how to use it to get what he wants. He is very good at manipulating people and understanding their emotions to benefit him and getting them to do what he wants. So he's very good at gaining popularity and all of the things like that. Which is a huge contrast to Nico, because Nico definitely lacks a lot of social awareness, whether it's from growing up isolated or just being Nico. He isn't really good at picking up social cues. But Blair, that's what I call this character. I usually call him Blair because that name really seems to fit him. But Blair definitely does know how to pick up on those social cues and uses that to his advantage. For his powers, I definitely see him having some sort of mind control ability, or like ability to influence people's emotions, make people like him, something like that, something that helps him to manipulate people. And I also feel like he would have an innate ability to really tell what people's true intentions are. Like he can see straight through you if you are lying. So that's cool. He's just really, really good at reading people. And he is so stylish. I had so much fun designing his outfits just because I love his fashion sense. He is such a slay queen, and I love him so much, like I already said, like 3 times. But anyway, into his backstory. I think he would have originally been a hero. And I think that his family would probably be like a very important one in their society and really push him to be like that perfect hero. Also, in this world, I believe there would be, like, a hero academy or, like, hero groups where you could go and learn to be a hero, and Blair would be in that. He would not look like this when he was a hero, because I imagine the heroes being very strict and very traditional, in a sense, where he was really, really trying his best to, like, fit into their mold, and he looked completely different, be, like, the perfect kid and be a good hero, but that really it didn't allow him to be who he was. I imagine it felt suffocating. And because of how good he was at manipulating people, I think he would have easily grown to be very popular. And his parents, I believe, would put a lot of pressure on him to the point where he just couldn't handle it. He couldn't handle all of the pressure to be absolutely perfect and be the perfect hero and the perfect person all the time. And that's when he snaps and went and joined the villains. Actually, I wasn't imagining him joining the villains. I was imagining him somehow being thrown out of the heroes. Like, I can just see the villain I was talking about before, like, finding him, like, injured on the streets and taking him in. So I think that's how he would become a villain. Blair can be very, very mean at times. So that's really just to hide what he's actually feeling. Like, he tears down others before they can do that to him. And he's actually very insecure about the way he looks, but he gets more confident as he's allowed to express himself more with the villains. He does make a really good villain, though, because like he said, he is so good at manipulating people, and he knows how to act in different situations to make himself come off how he wants. That's how he was so easily able to fit in with the heroes and be popular, even if it really was hiding a part of himself. While he can come off very cruel and judgmental when you first meet him, he truly does care about the people that he is close to. Like, when you are close to him, he would die for you. He's very good at building people up who he cares about, and I can just see him fighting the heroes on the battlefield and stopping to, like, compliment their outfits because he's a girl's girl, even if he's not a girl, but you get it. So I think he's honestly very sweet, and he will become much kinder if I do end up actually making this a story, like, towards the end and stuff like that. But anyway, that's Blair. Like I said, I really loved doing his design, and I actually think I did have a really good silhouette for this one, at least in his main, like, outfit with that big, like, skirt thing. I think it gives him a really nice shape. And yeah, I love his design. I think this turned out as one of the best. This is our final design for today, and the final person in what I believe would be, like, the main trio that, like, go out and fight heroes. I think if I do make this a webcomic, it would be much more episodic. In, like, each new episode, they're fighting, like, a new hero, but there's, like, an overarching plot with, like, their characters and everything like that. Because, I don't know, I feel like it would keep me more interested if I got to come up with a new idea each episode and have, like, its own mini story. I feel like I'd be more motivated to actually work on it. So yeah, this is the last character in the trio that would be going out every time to do that, and she is just like a little gremlin. She has such chaotic energy, and I love that for her. She'd also be much younger than the other main sub characters. I imagine a lot of them being like mid to late teenagers, but I think she would definitely be a much younger child. And she's just so chaotic. Like, I can see her tearing people to shreds. And she's, like, a little bit insane, but at the same time, she's really cute. Like, she'll get people to lower their guard by staring up at them with, like, puppy dog eyes and then tearing their throat out. She makes a good villain, and I think that's why the villain I was talking about earlier, that's, like, Nico's dad or whatever, would have taken her in. Feel like how she would get there she would probably be an orphan. And I think she would have spent most of her life at the orphanage being very lonely, wishing she had a family, and trying her best to make friends, but she's just into some different things. Like, she gives off very weird vibes. Like, I can see her liking bugs and insects and reptiles and trying to share her interests with the other kids, and just not being able to make friends and being ostracized, which makes me very sad for her. So I can see her running away from that orphanage at a very young age and going to live on the streets for a bit, stealing, like, food and stuff to survive. So she got very good at sneaking around, and I feel like how she would meet the main villain guy is she would attempt to steal something from him, which she would get caught, obviously, because he's very well trained. And he would recognize her potential and decide to bring her in to join his villain company thing. And yeah, she'd be very happy with that. She's just really wants to be loved and to have a family. Like many of these characters, they really just want to be loved. But now they're like villains and all of this. But I think she would greatly enjoy getting to go out and explode people and have fun with that. So yeah, that's what I had for her character. I really think I did a good job on this silhouette. I know I'm talking about silhouettes a lot, but that's because I really wanted to try and push myself because I feel like that's something I struggle with. All of my characters kind of look the same. But with her, I think she has a good silhouette. I love characters with like big ears, so I decided to just give her the hugest ears possible. And I made her very short because obviously she's younger. She's like a young child. And yeah, I love the one eye. Another thing that I think she would have is I don't think she would talk a ton. She would talk some, but I can see like her pupil or whatever changing shapes to reflect her emotions. And yeah, I like that. Like when she's confused, it would be a question mark. Normally, I have it in like this X shape. And yeah, she's just like a little chaos gremlin, and I love that for her. I can see a lot of people just viewing her as like a problem child and that she misbehaves and all of that. But I think again, she would have a genuinely kind heart, and I can just see her going to try and make her friends like Blair and Nico feel better if they're upset and try and empathize with people the best she can cuz she does just want to make friends even if she struggles with that and that has led her to be the way she is and think that nobody will ever love her. So yeah, they're just like a group of misfits and outcasts that are now villains because of that, and they get to go and fight heroes and cause chaos and mischief. So yeah, that's like what I came up with for the main three characters, and I really like all of them. Like I'm already obsessed with these characters. I really, really, really want to jump into like writing their story somehow, but I'm not. I'm gonna take it slow. I'm gonna do some other videos that focus on maybe world building or like designing sub characters and like villains. Or I guess technically some of the villains would be heroes because it's like antagonists. So if you liked it, please subscribe. I know I asked you at the beginning, but I feel like it makes more sense to ask now because now you know if you like the video, and if you do, that's great. And if not, that's fine too. But I will be posting more things like this and more on storytelling and character design and everything like that. So, yeah, definitely subscribe if you like this. Anyway, bye guys. Wait, one more thing before you go. Feel free to share your own OCs and story ideas in the comments because I absolutely love hearing people's ideas and I would love to hear yours and get inspired by them and let me know what you think of my own designs. Anyway, that's it.